When it comes to actually growing your residential assisted living business, these are things that I wish I would have done more earlier on, especially with the first facility that I had as a 5-bed to help grow and expand. But this is what I'm gonna talk about in this video to hopefully help a few of you who are maybe in that one care home, the 2 care home situation, and then to hopefully help you expand your business. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What's going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my reoccurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And if you have not yet, make sure to go check out legionassistedlivingacademy.com, where I teach how to start your own residential assisted living facility from A to Z. Also, you can book a one-on-one mentorship call there. You could also book a full day with myself and ongoing monthly mentorship. And then you could also go and purchase like the Performa template, the residency agreement template, all these other items that I have in resources there. And if you are actually looking to passively invest into the space, feel free to reach out to us at valleyalfventures.com, or if you're an operator looking to expand your operations and are looking to potentially have us come in and purchase the real estate to lease back to you with the option to purchase at a later date, that is also something that we do. Or if you're looking to potentially sell your assisted living facilities, feel free to reach out to us. We would love to have a conversation. And now that the housekeeping is all out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. When it comes to actually expanding your residential assisted living business, there are 3 things you have to keep in mind when it comes to expanding. The first, you have to make sure that you can get enough capital from whatever home you currently have. If it's just 1 or 2, usually it's the 1 or 2, where a lot of that funding shouldn't be utilized to sustain your lifestyle. Most people, what they do and what I've seen is they'll get profitable with their first care home and they'll start utilizing that money to support their lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with taking some profit and paying yourself a little bit and being able to do that and to support yourself. But what most people do is they'll start utilizing all the profit and then they never get out of that rat race of being able to save enough to get the second, third, fourth, fifth one open. And so that was something early on for me where I realized within the 2 years that I was operating my business that I had to really cut down on my living expenses to the point where, I was single, didn't have kids, family, so on and so forth. But I realized if I was gonna get out of the fact that I only had one home and that I could expand, was putting aside as much as I could every single month from the profits of the business to be able to withstand any things that would come up, whether it be residents passing away, maybe it was a slower month and I didn't have my occupancy all the way up, or it was something like COVID that came up out of nowhere and sustaining myself through that. The second thing was getting out of my own way. Meaning I was managing and doing everything myself. I was the manager. Oftentimes I was covering shifts for staff. I was also doing all the marketing, the tours, the admissions, the discharges, all the day-to-day minutia, right, of being able to operate my own business. And I wasn't getting out of my own way. I wouldn't delegate as much as I should have to my staff, my caregivers specifically, and then also just trying to bring on maybe an assistant manager to help do some of the tours, maybe do some of the admissions, discharges, so on and so forth, the medication, and then the appointments with families, the residents, all of that I could have easily probably sourced a assistant manager to do, and they would have come in and handled a lot of that. And so instead, I just try to do everything myself. And that's what happens oftentimes with your very first facility, is that you'll try to manage everything yourself. And so being able to bring somebody in and start delegating is gonna help tremendously when it comes to expanding your business, because you'll get out of your own way and you'll allow people to grow within your business and expand that business. And why do people, even myself back then, looking back, why did I not bring somebody on board? Because I tried, like I said, I tried to keep expenses as low as possible and not reinvesting back into the business. So as much as you try to reduce expenses, you also have to keep in mind you have to keep putting money back into it, which leads to the third component. Do not stop in reinvesting into your business, whether that be through hiring some staff to come in and delegate the things that will hinder you from actually growing your business, and then also providing them the training, the skills, also the equipment to properly take care of the residents in your facility. So these were the things that held me back from helping expand my business. And most people have a really hard time, and I know I did, of letting go and letting other people help you grow your business. And I still sometimes struggle with this, and I think it has a lot to do with when you start things yourself, you put a lot of value into that and you see it as something that is your baby. But eventually, as if we were to use metaphorically speaking, kids, you have to eventually let your kids make their own mistakes, and you eventually have to let them grow up. And that's the same thing with business. You have to let your employees make the mistakes, guide them through that, nurture them, train them, help them gain that experience. And so that's the same thing with business. And that's something that I've learned time and time again. I just have to be okay with not having to do everything and trying to control everything and trying to always be on top of it. Now, it's always good to be self-aware and also be in tune with the different departments of your business and in your care home, but you shouldn't be the one doing all the grocery shopping. You shouldn't be the one always talking with families, setting up appointments, being there when, there is something going on, right? Whether it be an admission, discharge, resident incident, whatever it is, you shouldn't always have to be the one that's there. And that is what holds back a lot of people from ever expanding from one facility to, 5, 10, 15 facilities. That just takes time, and that is something that everyone has to keep in mind. And so when it comes to growing your business, you always want to make sure that these are things to keep in mind. And it just takes time too. You have to allow time to do its thing. You have to allow time to bring in the right staff, build the right culture. All of this stuff does take time, but when it does start happening, make sure that you incorporate it correctly and make sure that you don't try to control every component of that aspect, right? Bring on the right assistant manager, maybe even bring on the right manager once you're at that point to allow somebody to manage multiple homes and then have somebody oversee them, right? Maybe you'll have a chief operating officer that handles those managers where they're at the homes doing the day-to-day stuff, and then your chief operating officer reports back to you as the owner, and then so on and so forth. And most people, again, do not take the time to properly structure this, put this all together. And another thing is as you're building up from one location to multiple, what you want to do is have similar processes and systems that you can just duplicate and replicate at every single new location that you open, and that you're not having to redo it every single time. You could just have video training that you've put together, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes on certain tasks that need to be done with certain things. And that way you can just replicate it every single time when you go to open new locations, and you're not dealing with the same thing over and over, and you're not having to go in and waste your time trying to train somebody. You could send those videos, have it set up to where they log in, go through each system and process, whether it's a video, whether it's an explanation, or kind of a checklist of things that need to be done. These will help kind of fast track and systemize things as you grow and as you move forward. So if this video definitely helped, make sure to comment down below, like, and then also if you want to book a one-on-one mentorship call, feel free to do that as well. And I will talk to you all in the next video. God bless.